So we're getting the car hooked up to the RV because we are headed out on a 5-day camping trip. We are going to travel to Arcadia, Florida and stay in a new RV resort there and go to the rodeo that is in Arcadia every March and in the fall as well. It wasn't a very far drive for us since we live in Florida anyhow.
In half a mile, take exit 170 for Kings Highway.
We didn't encounter too much traffic, but we did get into some construction and some rough roads. Some of the right turns were pretty sharp with drop-offs and broken pavement. Cooper's head kept popping up during this video. He was sitting in my lap the entire trip.
Turn right onto Southwest Kissimmee Road. Then you'll take your first left into the parking lot.
This was a gnarly right turn here. It was pretty narrow and there was quite a bit of a drop off. But we arrived at the campground safe and sound. We traveled through to the check-in center. The staff were extraordinarily friendly and helpful. Hey y'all, so we have arrived at our campground. We are staying at Southern Sands in Arcadia, and I'll take you around in a bit and give you a show of the campground and all of the amenities. But we've got settled in. I have Gypsy all ready to go. Everything is unpacked, and she is set up for us to have a really nice camping trip for the next 4 or 5 days. So I thought I'd show you a couple of things that I have purchased over the last few months for the RV. One is this item I picked up from Amazon. It is a china and dishware packing cube. I love this because we can pack all of our glassware, our coffee mugs, our drinking glasses, our wine glasses, martini glasses, whatever we want to bring with us, and they don't rattle and they don't get broken, and we don't have to bring plastic with us any longer. You can place 12 items in here, and if you have smaller cups, if you put a little cushion between them, you can get a lot more. So what I usually do is unpack the items that I know we're going to use right away. Usually that's going to mean our coffee mugs, maybe our stemware, our drinkware, and I'll just place those up into the cabinet for easy access while we're camping. And then I can take the box and put it under the bed for storage. The one thing I love about this is it zips closed. It sits right up in my cabinet. It doesn't move, rattle around, or shift during travel. I haven't had any trouble keeping this under the bed. It's the perfect size. Then the next thing we purchased was this small air fryer. We have an extra large air fryer at home, and I used to bring that with us on all of our camping trips. It does work great, but it's large and bulky and difficult to store. This little mini air fryer works perfectly. It's just the right size. We can store it up in the cabinet, and it works great. Then I decided to get an electric skillet. This is a smaller version, but it's very easy, it's compact, it's easy to store, and I don't have to use my cooktop, which is a large portion of my countertop, plus it's messy. So I use the skillet in addition to our grill and our Blackstone, and I can move it around and use it in different locations if I want to. And so let's take a look at the site. We are in site number 104, and as you can see, they are very large and long, and they are paved. Very clean, and it's easy to take care of the inside of the RV because you're not tracking in so much outside debris. As you can see, this is a site map. It shows the sites along with the large amenity center, swimming pool, pickleball courts, cornhole, lots of nice lounging area, and we'll take a tour of all of that in a bit. So one thing I will say is that the RV sites do not have a picnic table or fire ring or anything like that. The RV park does not allow fires, and but I do think they allowed the gas or the propane fire pits. This is a really nice look at the street. You can see how wide it is and how far apart the RV sites are and just how nice it is. We're going to take a walk over to guest services and check out the clubhouse and the amenities. They have this very nice large pond with fountains, and you are allowed to fish in it if you would like to. There are a couple of alligators, there are ducks, and different types of waterfowl. So if you're walking your dog around the pond, just be aware of the alligators. They do have 2 dog parks, one for the larger dogs and one for the smaller dogs. Not super big, but just enough space for your dog to stretch his legs. I did find them to be especially clean. Everyone seems to pick up after their dog, so that's super nice. There's also a wash station, which I always enjoy having with hot and cold water. There was a few ducks out on the pond today. Inside the amenity center, you probably can't tell through the glass, but there is a yoga class going on in there. They have fitness classes in this room. There's a stage for the instructor. They do bring instructors in for classes. There's also chairs and tables for events. The lounge area was super nice, very nicely decorated, beautiful furnishings, great finishes. There was also a game room that had some tables for checkers and then a couple of pool tables as well. They had a pretty good sized gym. It had just the necessities. They had a resort style pool with lots of seating and lounge chairs. There were 5 or 6 different fire pits, gas fire pits around that you could enjoy at any time you wanted to. They had 6 or 8 pickleball courts, a lot of cornhole, darts, and things like that to play out on the lawn. I met a really nice lady there, Kim, who was giving me a lot of information about the park. She said that they do concerts here. They had a Jason Aldean tribute band a few weeks ago. They have comedians that come in. Everything is included except for specialty events where there is a small fee. But everything else is included here during your stay, electric and water as well. They had a super nice laundry facility, which I did not get a picture of. They also have a nice bar area that they open up sometimes for special events, water aerobics. They have a pickleball instructor that comes at no extra charge. Lots of instructors for fitness classes and events outside. It was a very nice resort. We always like to get out and take Cooper for a walk whenever we get to a new campground because we like to get the lay of the land. Hey y'all, I'm back inside because man is it hot out there. So we are going to do a little appetizer tonight. We always do happy hour when we travel together with some friends, and I thought I would just show you what I'm going to put together. So let me just turn the camera around here. So I'm going to make ceviche. So I have some already cooked shrimp here. Now I know that when you make ceviche, normally everything is raw and it's basically just cooked in the citrus, but I like to be a little safe when we travel. So I have some small shrimp here that I'm going to chop up. And since I didn't know for sure which night we were going to make this, I did buy the canned lump crab meat, which is really pretty good. I usually get fresh, but the expiration date on that comes pretty quickly. So I have 2 cans of that. I have some limes for the lime juice, some cilantro that I'm going to chop up. I also have purchased ahead of time the Trinity with the tomatoes, the bell pepper, the onions in that. And then over here in my little basket, we're going to be adding avocado. And I just mix all of that together in a nice big bowl and put lemon juice on it and season it a little bit with some salt and a few things, and then put it in the refrigerator to marinate, and it turns out really good. And then I take the dippers, the original. These I lay on a cookie sheet and I just dust them with a light coating of olive oil spray, and then I do them in the air fryer for just a couple of minutes. They fluff up. They don't have that raw dough taste. They have a little bit of crispness on the outside edges, and those are delicious for dipping the ceviche in. I enjoy walking around the campground in the evenings. I love looking at all the lights and the little decorations that people have put up around their sites. I thought this was such a cute little idea. So we're in Arcadia, Florida today, and we're headed to the rodeo.
Now each and every one of you have a choice on where you choose to worship come Sunday morning. Come on back, come on back. Release it. Come on, Delaney. Fiona, spin the first Purina can. Let's go to number 2, left-hand turn. Partner on the other side, Arcadia, Florida, low fighter. And let me back there, y'all.
I mean, you're awfully close, is all I'm saying. It's a really good ball to the right, away from his hand, and Blake never knew what hit him.
Sadly, this trip is over, but we really enjoyed it. This was a super nice campground, and the rodeo was a lot of fun, and it was close to home, so it was a great little getaway. So, hi everybody. So we are back home from our trip. We took Gypsy to the storage and got her hooked up, brought a lot of things back to do some laundry and things like that. And I had filmed my little video while we were doing that, and for whatever reason it didn't come out, so I am filming this one at home. So I hope that you enjoyed coming along with us during this camping trip, and that you enjoyed the rodeo and seeing the campground. And I just hope that you have such a wonderful day, and I appreciate you so much for being here and for watching. And I just wish you the absolute most happiness, the joy and peace and love that you could possibly want in life. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.